You wake up, you're ready to take on the day, feeling powerful, driven, masculine. So you do what you've been told is right. You reach for that healthy breakfast. Maybe it's a plant-based sausage sizzling in the pan, a choice you're making to avoid red meat. Or maybe it's a power-packed smoothie full of fruits and superfoods that promise boundless energy. You're doing your body a favor, right? But what if I told you that with every bite, every sip, you could be taking a step back from the man you want to be? What if that healthy breakfast is quietly working against the very foundation of your manhood? A shocking number of men are eating these two common breakfast foods, thinking they're making a healthy choice. In reality, they could be flooding their bodies with compounds that can sap your strength, drain your drive, and leave you feeling like a shadow of your former self. I've spent years digging through the science, separating the hard facts from the health industry hype. Today, we're going to expose two of the biggest offenders hiding in plain sight on your breakfast plate. These aren't obscure ingredients. These are foods millions of men eat every single day, thinking they're on the right track, when they might actually be on a fast track to suboptimal hormone levels. This isn't about fear-mongering. It's about empowerment. It's about giving you the knowledge you need to take back control of your hormones, your energy, and your life, starting with the most important meal of the day. So, if you're ready to learn the truth, stick with me, because what you're about to learn will change how you look at your morning routine forever. Before we unmask these two, it's important to understand what we're fighting to protect. Testosterone isn't just about muscles and sex drive, though those are definitely part of it. It's the master hormone for men. It's the chemical blueprint for your ambition, your confidence, and your competitive edge. It's what drives you to build, to achieve, and to lead. It sharpens your mind, strengthens your bones, and protects your heart. When your testosterone is optimized, you feel it. You walk taller. You speak with more authority. You have the energy to power through a grueling workday and still have plenty left over for your family and your passions. But in the modern world, we're facing a crisis of masculinity at a hormonal level. Study after study shows that testosterone levels in men have been dropping for decades. And while things like age, sleep, and stress play a role, our diet has become a primary battlefield. The problem is the enemy isn't just obvious junk food anymore. The new threat is sneaky. It hides behind health claims and clever marketing. This brings us to the core of the issue. Not all testosterone is created equal. You have total testosterone, which is all the testosterone in your body, but a lot of it is bound up and unavailable. It gets held hostage by a protein called sex hormone binding globulin, or SHBG. The testosterone that really matters is free testosterone. This is the active, unbound hormone that can get into your cells and do its job. You can have high total T, but if it's all shackled by SHBG, you won't feel the benefits. So, any food that messes with your body's ability to produce testosterone or that increases the SHBG that binds it up is a potential threat to your vitality. And as you're about to see, two of the most popular healthy breakfast choices can do just that. Let's get into it. All right, let's pull back the curtain on the first imposter. It's the darling of the health food world, the go-to for guys trying to eat cleaner and reduce their meat intake. We're talking about the plant-based sausage. You see it everywhere, marketed as the guilt-free, heart-healthy alternative. It's lean, it's green, it's modern. But when you look past the slick packaging, you might find a product that can challenge your testosterone levels from a few different angles. Let's break it down. First, let's talk about soy, specifically the highly processed soy protein isolate that forms the base of so many of these meat alternatives. Now, it's important to be clear. Large-scale reviews of human studies have shown that traditional soy foods like tofu or edamame don't have a significant negative effect on testosterone in most men. So, a bit of miso soup now and then isn't cause for panic. However, the game changes when we talk about what's in your plant-based sausage. You're not eating a whole food. You're often eating soy protein isolate, an ultra-processed powder that's been chemically engineered to have a high protein content. This process concentrates compounds in the soy plant called isoflavones. These are phytoestrogens, plant compounds that have a structure similar to human estrogen. The concern here is about the dosage and form. While some isolated studies have raised questions about high doses of concentrated soy protein, this isn't considered a major threat by current scientific consensus. Still, if you're a man trying to optimize your hormonal health, you might ask yourself why you'd want to make a staple out of a food built from a concentrated source of these compounds. But the assault from the plant-based sausage doesn't stop with soy. The second issue comes from the fats they use to make it taste good, industrial seed oils. To make a dry protein powder feel like a juicy sausage, manufacturers often use cheap shelf-stable fats like soybean, canola, sunflower, or corn oil. These oils are incredibly high in omega-6 fatty acids. Your body needs some omega-6, but our modern diet has tilted the balance to a dangerous extreme. Our ancestors ate a diet with an omega-6 to omega-3 ratio close to 1:1. Today, we're often closer to 20:1, a shift that can promote a state of chronic low-grade inflammation. Think of it as a constant simmering fire inside your cells. This inflammatory state is a massive stressor on your entire system, including your endocrine system, which produces testosterone. While there isn't direct proof that eating seed oils will tank your testosterone, creating a pro-inflammatory environment is definitely not helping. This leads us to the third and most significant problem. These plant-based sausages are often ultra-processed foods, or UPFs. An apple is a food, apple juice is processed, but a shelf-stable, chemically flavored, apple-flavored cereal bar is ultra-processed. That plant-based sausage, with its protein isolates, modified starches, and natural flavors, is often the very definition of a UPF. And the science on UPFs is getting pretty clear. High consumption of these foods is linked to a host of metabolic problems, including weight gain, especially visceral fat, the dangerous kind that wraps around your organs. This is hormonally devastating for men. Visceral fat isn't just dead weight. It's a metabolically active organ that acts like an estrogen factory. It contains an enzyme called aromatase, which actively converts your precious testosterone into the female hormone estrogen. So the more UPFs you eat, the more likely you are to gain visceral fat, and the more testosterone you might convert to estrogen. It can become a vicious cycle. When you put it all together, that healthy plant-based sausage looks less appealing. It's often an ultra-processed product that could contribute to an inflammatory state and promote the exact kind of fat gain that works against your male hormones. So, what's the solution? Reclaim the power of real whole foods. Start with the king of breakfast, the whole egg. The yolk contains healthy cholesterol, which is the direct molecular precursor to testosterone. It's also a great source of vitamin D, a critical vitamin linked to healthier testosterone levels. Next, consider high quality, real meat. We're talking about grass-fed breakfast meats or lean options like ham. These provide high-quality protein, healthy fats, and critical minerals like zinc, which helps support the testosterone production pathway. Finally, to counteract inflammation, actively consume omega-3s. The best source is wild-caught salmon. A small portion alongside your eggs provides a potent dose of anti-inflammatory fats. Look at the difference. On one hand, an ultra-processed patty. On the other, a plate of pasture-raised eggs and a piece of wild salmon. One is a recipe for modern metabolic stress. The other is a blueprint for vitality, providing the direct building blocks your body needs to support its natural hormone production. The choice is clear. Next up is a killer that's even more deceptive because it wears such a bright halo of health. It's the morning ritual for millions, the breakfast smoothie. It seems perfect. You blend up fruit, veggies, and protein powder in 60 seconds and walk out the door. You feel virtuous and efficient. But lurking in that innocent-looking cup are two potential threats that could challenge your testosterone levels. The first and most immediate threat is the sugar load. We think of fruit sugar as natural and harmless, but in a smoothie, that's a dangerous misconception. When you eat a whole apple, the sugar is trapped in a fiber matrix. Your body has to work to break it down, which slows sugar absorption. But when you pulverize that apple, a banana, and a cup of pineapple into a liquid, you've basically created a glass of sugar water. Many popular smoothie recipes can easily pack 50, 60, or even 75 grams of sugar. The hormonal effect of this can be immediate. One well-known study gave men a 75-gram glucose drink, the equivalent of many fruit-heavy smoothies, and found they experienced a temporary 25% drop in testosterone levels within 2 hours. Now, this effect is transient, meaning your levels will recover. But think about it. If you start every single day by carpet bombing your system with sugar, you're forcing your testosterone down right when it should be at its peak. The long-term damage is even more insidious. A daily sugar spike leads to a surge in insulin. Over time, your cells can become resistant to insulin, a condition that is a direct pathway to metabolic chaos and is strongly linked to chronically low testosterone. So that sweet, refreshing smoothie is a Trojan horse. It looks healthy, but it's smuggling in a payload of sugar that can pave the way for long-term hormonal issues. But sugar isn't the only problem. The second secret saboteur is a so-called superfood, often added for fiber, flaxseed. Flax is praised for its fiber and plant-based omega-3s, but for men focused on hormones, flax contains hidden compounds called lignans. In fact, flax is the richest source of lignans in the human diet. What's the issue with lignans? They have a complex relationship with male hormones. First, they are phytoestrogens. Second, some studies have suggested they may increase the production of SHBG, that protein that binds to your free testosterone and makes it useless. While large meta-analyses have concluded that flaxseed doesn't significantly impact testosterone in the average man, one small study in men with prostate cancer did find a notable decrease. So here's the bottom line. If you're serious about optimizing every aspect of your health, Why introduce an ingredient that even has a question mark next to its name regarding male hormones? So the healthy smoothie, loaded with fruit sugar and fortified with flax, turns out to be a dual threat. It's a sugar bomb that can lead to long-term metabolic damage, combined with a lignin source that some research has questioned. Does this mean all shakes are off the table? Not at all. You just have to build a smarter pro-testosterone smoothie. Here's the blueprint. First, overhaul the base. Ditch the high sugar fruits like bananas and mangoes. Instead, build your smoothie on a handful of low glycemic berries: blueberries, raspberries, strawberries. Next, get a clean protein source. Opt for a grass-fed whey protein isolate or a high-quality collagen protein. Third, add healthy fats to replace the flax. A quarter of an avocado gives you a creamy texture and great fats. A tablespoon of MCT oil provides clean energy. For fiber, swap the flax for chia or hemp seeds. While they also have lignans, the concentration is much lower, making them a better choice if you have any concerns. Finally, pack it with micronutrients. A large handful of spinach is rich in magnesium, a crucial mineral for testosterone production. Picture this pro-testosterone smoothie: unsweetened almond milk, a scoop of whey protein, mixed berries, a quarter avocado, a tablespoon of chia seeds, and a big handful of spinach. Compare that to the typical fruit and flax bomb. One is a hormone-supporting powerhouse. The other is a potential disruptor. This is how you use a smoothie to build your manhood, not break it. So let's recap the two hidden villains. First, the healthy plant-based sausage, an ultra-processed food that can promote inflammation and the kind of metabolic issues that are bad news for testosterone. Second, the innocent-looking health shake, which is often a sugar bomb that can mess with your blood sugar and may contain ingredients with a questionable hormonal impact. The common thread here is deception. These foods are masterfully marketed as virtuous choices, but when you peel back the label, you see they can create an internal environment that is hostile to male vitality. The big takeaway is that you have to be the guardian of your own health. You can't blindly trust the claims on the front of the box. You have to turn it over, read the ingredients, and ask yourself, is this a real whole food, or is it a modern industrial formulation designed for profit, not my hormonal health? The power to reclaim your vitality starts at the end of your fork. It begins the moment you swap a processed soy patty for pasture-raised eggs. It happens when you trade a sugary fruit smoothie for a carefully built blend of protein, healthy fats, and greens. These aren't small changes. They are foundational shifts that send a powerful signal to your body to rebuild, optimize, and restore the hormonal balance that is your birthright. You have the knowledge now. The choice of what you do with it is yours. If this has opened your eyes, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. We're constantly releasing new science-backed content to help you become the strongest, healthiest version of yourself.